Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
Bucket.
What's up, guys? We're back.
I'm glad I didn't forget how that went. I was
Okay, look, that's
rotating
the
it through
easy
my
part.
head, constantly going. All right, I remember what that.
Ingrained in us at this point.
I'm about to say that should be motor, like the muscle memory of your brain.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you go a few shows back that way. You can see one where my intro was like, "Oh God, I forgot what I was supposed to say. I had a brain fart."
Well,
that's fair.
We're back. Fair. Some things have changed for us because we had that flood thing, and now we're okay, I guess.
Yeah, behind me is not the same as it used to be.
Yeah, we're still cleaning up and putting things back. We just put one of the rugs back earlier today, actually. This is how long this process is. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I mean, my whole area is completely reorganized. I mean, there's like no trash anywhere over here now. And trust me, it looked like a filth pile. Now it's clean, sleek.
His desk
Back
is
to being
right,
good.
like it's in the walkway path when we get home, so it's kind of a catch-all. It just stuff gets sat down there, and we're like, we'll put it away later, and later does not happen. So
I was, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get my audio fixed before today, and so I was like, all right, if I can't get the audio fixed today, then I'm just going to spend that time that I would normally be doing the podcast cleaning up my entire damn desk. And well, now the desk isn't going to get clean, so.
Just have a flood and make it, you got to rip out the carpet, so you have to take everything out of your rooms and stuff, and then it's a good motivator.
No, I don't recommend that to anybody.
I wouldn't recommend it either, but it'll get stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, from destruction comes life, so, kudos to all of those villains that are like, yeah, we need to destroy the world so they can regrow again. It's like, yeah, okay, I kind of understand it, but let's not.
I just realized
I would like to state, I told Chicken the other day that our little automatic robot thing that cleans our floors downstairs had grabbed some of the wires that were down here. It was one of my light wires that had grabbed, and I just noticed right now while we were sitting here talking that a cord that I know for a fact was next to a wall behind something. Somehow that sucker has pulled it out. I am convinced they are magic.
All I could say is that would be a great insurance claim. Don't quote me on anything, because if it pulls it out of the wall, burns down the house because your damn RoboVac decided to pull the cord out slightly. It's like, oh God.
It's okay. I looked over and realized that my baseboard that's supposed to go on the wall behind me is still sitting over there because we haven't put it back yet. Forgot. It was behind the door. Didn't see it until I closed the door just
I don't
now.
even have a baseboard on the back of this wall right here,
okay.
So.
It's an ongoing process. All right. You want to talk about some news? There's not a whole lot. I mean, we were gone for a month, and we're like, there's not a whole lot of news. But stuff happened, and some of it we're like, okay, that's weeks ago. We're going to let it go. So, the Switch 2 got announced while we were gone. I think it was literally right the day after we flooded is when it got announced or something like that. And it's like, well, I guess we'll be waiting to talk about that for a while.
Was it?
No, it got updated
the Switch
before.
2? Was it right before?
It was like
I think
the third.
we were going to be able to talk about it that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
got sidetracked a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. This article that I found has every single detail about what was announced at that thing. I'm talking all the prices for all the peripherals for it,
and
all the games,
late to the party on it.
The dock, everything, the membership statuses, pre-orders, launch games, everything that was announced is part of this, and it's looking like a lot of stuff. I will say that their big gimmick thing, I'm not going to say gimmick, but their big thing that they put onto this one, first of all, it's a stronger version of the Switch. It's a lot stronger. Everybody knew it. Bigger, stronger, can run more games and whatnot. But their biggest thing that they wanted to make sure that they hit you with was the chat, the group chat thing. It's like Discord.
It's so weird.
But for Nintendo, which I think is neat, and I like that Nintendo is trying to keep that connection between people, because all of us played Nintendo games with somebody. You play Mario Party in the house with somebody, Mario Kart with somebody.
And I like the concept that they did with that, because like you said, it's like Discord where it was at, and no other console is doing something similar. So this is them going, we're going to do chat, but we're going to do it the Nintendo way. We're going to one up everybody else because we're going to create an opportunity to. You can choose to have the camera, not have the camera. I think it's neat too because you can game share.
Yep, that's really nice.
Which I think is neat. They did a really good job of upgrading what they have. I saw someone say that they missed an opportunity to not call it the Super Switch, but I don't think this is the Super Switch. I think the Super Switch would be whatever the next iteration of this is if they continued on the same path. I think this is just a very good upgrade, and Switch 2 fits it correctly based on that.
I feel like I saw an article. Somebody asked them why they didn't name it the Super Switch, and it was like something that they didn't want it confused with the Super Nintendo. They wanted it to kind of be more of a prequel, or not a prequel, a sequel to the Switch, so they didn't want it to separate itself too hard from the Switch. So,
well, I mean that, and when they went with like the Wii U, everyone just thought it was just the same thing but an upgrade, and we have seen in recent years how dumb people are. So
yeah, at least people are used to a number system, so I can understand that. So you go to Switch 2. If they decide to do a Switch 3, Switch 3. If they decide to go totally different direction, they can rename whatever the system is. That makes sense.
I will be mind blown. Like I do not expect it to be called the Switch 3. But I could see them going that route to where like this is their final flagship, and they're just going to reiterate it on going forward until at some point in the future where they finally like break the barrier into something entirely different. But it feels like they absolutely struck gold with the Switch. Like this is almost feels like peak form for a console. I mean, it may not be like the most powerful like PC style, but
no, but it's a console that you can play at home or the go, which is, I mean, honestly, something like that was something that, you know, we only dreamed about as kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I mean, to be fair, they did give us that a little bit way back in the day when we had like the Game Boy. Then you'd be able to take your cartridges from like Pokemon Stadium and be able to put your game or put your Pokemon in the Pokemon Stadium.
Still, it wasn't quite the same experience.
Yeah, like
it was like for some of the games that went from a console to a Game Boy, they felt very watered down.
100%. This, like I said, this feels like the final form. This is what Nintendo has always been trying to get to because they've always been so heavy in the handheld marketplace, and they've got such a strong console base too. So just merging them together, it felt right. I'm pretty sure whoever finally crafted this thing was like, Eureka! We finally hit it.
We did it, everyone.
Which I think was when they first made the Wii U. Everybody saw it. There's a first formation of it. It's like, I remember telling Griff right when we got it, I was like, man, this is what they want to do. They want to be able to have this pad and you to be able to walk away with it. Mm-hmm. This is what they want at some point. I bet money, and
yeah,
here we are.
The technology just wasn't there yet.
Exactly.
PlayStation did. They created the PlayStation Wii U, basically the PlayStation Woo.
No,
because of the freaking. The little device that they came out with or whatever. And when it first came out, everybody was like, why would I need this to be able to play my
Are you talking about the
PlayStation games?
Vita?
No, they've got the new one, the one that looks like a tablet.
Oh, okay.
They got the controllers on both sides. So it's basically the same thing that we were hoping would be with the Wii U, but PlayStation's like, yeah, we could do this. And I was like, I'm not paying $250 for a tablet to play my games on if I can't actually walk away and go somewhere with it other than my own house.
But now,
you know, which they tried to, they also try to do that with they had PlayStation TV, which was a cool concept too, because you could take Vita games and stick it in there, or you could stream your PlayStation 4 over to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I definitely want to point out that we were all right. The controller, the Joy-Cons double as a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were
that opens up massive possibilities. Yeah, and I feel like that kind of iteration belongs to Steam. Like having Steam games being able, like your PC games being able to go wherever you want, and having like mouse capabilities because it's got a trackpad and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So it brings a whole new style of games to the go.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo saw that and was like, we need to make sure that we can add that kind of style to our games,
I'm interested
too.
to see how it works, because I have, because I love controllers. So I have the nunchuck, which is the left controller for the nunchuck is basically, I think it's the actual name of it. But anyway, it's the left side of it is to where you have your stick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it's got a lot of buttons on it, a lot of buttons to be able to make up for the fact you're not using a keyboard, right? And then your right hand goes on your mouse like you normally would. I'm just wondering how they're going to make up the difference if they're trying to eventually bring people over that have that PC muscle memory of using a mouse. How they're going to.
You want to know how? The fucking hologram, like a damn virtual thing where the damn Switch will project a keyboard onto your platform that you play in front of you, and then boom.
The Switch 2, not the Switch 922.
It'll be the Switch 3 that will have virtual or hologram things. We're getting close. Like, in the next several years, we'll start seeing more of that AR technology. I mean, I recently found the little AR cards that I got with our 3DS, where you could set them down and use the 3DS and then kind of make them AR, play with them and whatnot. You can do different objectives. So Nintendo has that in their mind. So it's only a matter of time before they kind of use that in the next step too. So
right.
Because I mean, they did it with the Mario Kart stuff, where you could set up a track in your house and then play Mario Kart.
I'm gonna get that thing on sale at some point, or like a used version of that, and set it down here in my downstairs, because I've got that whole room back here behind me that I can put it in.
Play with it.
Like, that would be kind of fun, like being able to set your own thing and then being able to play it on your like little handheld, or play it on your Switch where you're driving around your own house and the track that you made. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I love the concept of that. I think it's cool. But I mean, they're innovative that way anyway. I mean, they're little box set thing where you make your own
Nintendo
little
Labo. Yeah, like I can't wait to see what the kids who grew up with that grow up into, because I'm sure some of those kids are going to be engineers with some of the stuff that they've made with that thing.
I am concerned a little bit though, and I get it. They've got first party titles and stuff that are there. I am a little concerned with some of these games being $80. Some of them are regular priced. Yeah. So, like, they wanted to blanket. Everybody was like, their games are going to be $80. Some of them are not $80, guys. The one that's surprising to me that's not $80 is the Donkey Kong Bonanza game, which is a 3D Donkey Kong game, and it's like $60, I think, for that game. And
it's 70, I think.
$70, which is
60
nowadays.
Maybe.
Yeah, so it's a somewhat normal price game nowadays, but if Mario Kart went at $80, I thought was a little extreme, unless it includes all of their updates they're going to do to the game, like DLC.
I think it's like $105 for like the full version of it
of Mario Kart.
Oh my god!
Holy crap!
Why though?
Why?
It's fucking huge. Like, it is a massive game. I'll see if I can find it. But it is apparently a massive tiered game. Like, we are talking, you've ever played a Mario Kart game? This has got it all in it. And it's got massive world. Yeah, it's like Forza.
Yeah, it's Forza Kart.
It's got world racing too. Like, you could have these multi-length races where they just go far. It kind of reminds me of like Trials Fusion, where some of those trial maps were like 25-30 minutes long, where you could just race the entire thing and like you're still going to get to the end.
Yeah, it's almost like a combo of like the Forza game and the fact that you've got the outer world thing from point A to point B, right? Mm-hmm. But when you get into, we'll say a city, because some of them aren't cities, but we'll say city for this standpoint. So you get into an area, there's going to be a race of some sort on a track, like you're used to as well, from what I understand. So you still have the old school, but you can play how you want. So if you're a person that likes to play inside of an actual race track, you still have that option. But if you're somebody that likes to play more of a Grand Prix style, where you have the longer version of a race, you have that available to you too. And if you like both styles, which I like both styles because I love Forza, I think it's so fun.
Oh yes, 100%.
But I also love Mario Kart, and the fact that I would have Mario Kart options and play Forza like in the length, I think is a neat concept too.
Yeah, looking at their giant map, there's like 28 cities that you can go to and kind of do maps or races from there. Like, I get why it's so expensive. Nintendo is very proud of themselves. And I get inflation. We have been very lucky to have games been $60 for max price for the last 25, 30 years. So I kind of understand why things are getting more expensive. But damn.
Chicken, are you watching something in your side screen?
Yeah, I hear somebody talking.
I had something pop up ad-wise.
Oh, okay. I was like, who
Not
might?
me.
I didn't know if Chicken was watching. I know League was on earlier, so.
No, okay. First of all, whenever I load up a new tab, I mute the tab.
Okay.
Always. So.
To figure out where
I accidentally closed the Fallout one and reopened it, and yeah.
And it was like, listen to our full blast ad that we autoplay because we hate everybody. I hate that stuff. I hate it so much.
Yeah. Okay, it's $80 for it to. Oh, damn, the World Bundle's $500. That's not too bad. Joy-Con wheels of 2.
There's 500.
Yeah, and if you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World Bundle,
it's Kart World.
Okay,
it comes
that's different.
It's the whole bundle.
$50 more, and you get Mario Kart World with it.
Right.
Which, if you're gonna get the Switch 2, just get the bundle. Like Mario Kart's always a safe game to get. You will always get your worth out of it, especially if you're gonna buy the Mario or buy the Switch anyway, Switch 2. But yeah, they have upgrades. You can get upgraded versions, which I think is a little sketchy because you got to pay more for it too. So you got a double dip.
Which PlayStation did that too. Xbox didn't, but PlayStation did.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I get it. They've got to upgrade the graphics and stuff in some of these cases, like especially with Nintendo, because I don't feel like Nintendo was like, oh, these graphics are so good, and then we're going to dumb them down to put them on the Nintendo Switch. Now you get to see the real version. I feel like they actually had to up the level a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that I thought was very interesting, that is going to be able to run on the game, run on the system pretty good. The Hogwarts Legacy is an upgraded version that they're running, but Cyberpunk 2077 running on a Switch blows my mind. And people have played it.
Is it like potato quality? Or?
No, it's not.
No, it's good quality.
It's pretty good.
That game is demanding, to say the least.
But the Switch 2 apparently has
a 4090 playing it, but it's still quality. And if you can play the game mobile, and it looks pretty decent on that, so you want to move, let's say you're traveling or something like that, and you want to be able to use it, you're going to get what you get because it's mobile. But I've heard two different reviews. One said that they felt like, because they didn't have their Steam Deck with them, but they felt like the Steam Deck version and it are about the same. And then I heard another one that they thought the Steam Deck version was a little better. So,
I mean, even if you get close to the Steam Deck version, I still give them.
Yeah, I would think props to that, but no one knows their own system better than Nintendo does. Nintendo knows how to get a lot out of their own system. So.
Oh yeah. The one that shocks me that it can run is Elden Ring. Like, that game is a bit intense. And I guess you can dump down the graphics and whatnot, but it's a very graphically intense game.
That they showed during the announcement, it looked like to me it was running on a Switch. Where Cyberpunk was a little questionable whether it was running on a Switch or not, but it is impressive the size Elden Ring is and everything you have to do in that game that you're able to run it for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we could have been looking at a beta version of the game too. You know what I mean?
Very, very possible.
Yeah.
And of course, with this announcement, you always have to get one Nintendo. Why did you do that? You guys are just a bunch of dumbass. The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour game. Yeah, I know, right? I knew that reaction was coming. When they announced it, I was just watching it and I was like, this better be like Wii Sports, where it's included in the console, because all it is it's a bunch of like little mini games and an overall tour of the Switch 2 of all the little pieces and whatnot, all the upgrades that they've done with it. I was like, oh, that's neat. That's a great way to kind of let people play their new Switch 2 and let them kind of see what it does, how it works, things like that. No, it's a $70 game that's sold separately.
This off the back of the fact that PlayStation 5, when it came out, had a game that was so good, that came free with the console, that was so good and people enjoyed it so much, They ended up creating a game that it was up for Game of the Year based on the demo that was inside the game that came with it. But meanwhile, they're like, we're going to give you basically a demo of how all this shit works, and we're going to charge you $70 extra for it. Like, why?
And that right there is that's right. It is Nintendo. This is what they do every once in a while. Got to remind us that they're not perfect.
Yeah.
I know that like with Wii Sports, I want to say that was a Reggie decision originally.
To include it?
Yeah, because it was because they had such bad sales with the GameCube comparatively, that they made that decision. Now, I am excited about the fact that GameCube is going to be added to the online stuff, because I love the GameCube.
Yes. GameCube's got some hot stuff.
I do hope that we get Double Dash, the Mario Kart Double Dash. That is my favorite Mario Kart. I just love the concept of being able to switch between the characters with different abilities.
Hell yeah.
But I don't know if they'll put it on there or not, but I do like the fact that they were like, oh, and some of these games that are multiplayer, we've made them to where you can play the multiplayer over online from the GameCube standpoint.
Nice. Oh, that was, again, the online capabilities back in the days were just a little bit ahead of its time. Internet was not as strong then as it is now. So a lot of people didn't have capabilities for things like that. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was like Phantasy Star Online. You could play with other people, and like that one was pretty fun. Oh, Wind Waker is coming for GameCube. Mario Sunshine, Gale of Darkness. Well, that one's a little surprising. I loved it, but it is surprising to see it on that list. Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Coliseum. So I'm sure that we'll be seeing a lot more GameCube games.
The other two is From Software is doing. I don't know if the game's exclusive, but it was announced at least, the Dusk Bloods game, which is a vampire game that they've announced.
Is it multiplayer, if I'm not mistaken?
I want to say cooperative. Yes. Support up to 8 people.
Oh,
multiplayer game that's the ability to support up to 8 people.
Co-op? Not co-op? Interesting.
Yeah, because it's presented as though it's going to be a story-based game. So is it, or is it an actual multiplayer game?
I mean, unless you want to go, well, I mean, up to 8 people is a lot of people. Like, if it was going to be like 4 and whatnot, I could imagine it being something like Hunter the Reckoning, right, where you get to choose your little group of 4 characters and whatnot. It's interesting to see that it's up to 8. Interesting.
I'll be interested to see how that ends up then on that one. One of the games that they did was Dragon Drive. And some of the reviews that I've heard on it, because they went to the Nintendo special thing that they were able to test the game, they said it is extremely gimmicky. In order to be, because the idea is to be able to use the mouse ability that's on it. And they were like, that the gameplay itself, once you get into it, is actually kind of fun and easy to get down, but they said it is very gimmicky. It is obvious what they're trying to do with this.
I mean, to be fair, that's what Wii Sports was supposed to be too. That absolutely just erupted in popularity, which and that's not saying this one's going to do it too.
Yeah, it's but free with a console versus $70 or whatever the hell they're going to charge for this damn thing for a 3v3 basketball game on wheelchairs.
Yeah, I don't see it being too popular.
Yeah, I am interested though in kind of seeing how the sales and stuff go because of our current environment right now, especially here in the United States. There's some that are already here, that are already packaged.
Yeah. They brought a ton of them, and I think they said they brought 2.2 million consoles into the States to have them set here ready for sale, because they don't want to try to bring any more in afterwards because it's going to cost too much. Right. They'd have to raise prices even more. So,
but they did have it. Of course, April 24th was when retailers were able to do their pre-sales, which if you tried to get on any of those websites at that particular time, they were crashing left and right. And then they set out a thing that said, hey, if you want one of these consoles, In order to prevent from the scalping thing to happen, you have to have played their console for a certain amount of time, and you could sign up to be part of the pre-order. And I was like, that's awesome. And then they changed when we can pre-order for those of us that signed up. So the invitation doesn't come out until May 8th now. That's when they start.
All right.
So it makes me worry because of the fact that they've already had the pre-orders with the retail, that they're going to be less priority on the people they're supposed to be quote unquote protecting from the scalpers. And that kind of concerns me a little bit. But it even says on there that invitations could go even past when the actual launch date of June 5th is. So you could have signed up on day one like I did, but you might not get a May 8th date. You might get, a June 15th or a July date, which is a little concerning. Because I really thought they were like, we've got this figured out on how we can make this available, at least to a certain degree, for those people that really like to play the Switch.
Well, maybe they did, but, the stupid tariffs and shit kind of fucked it up.
Maybe, but I guess it's going to be kind of seen once May 8th happens how that's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a feeling that, they have, depending on how they allotted these out to the retailers, it's going to really, we're going to have to really see. Maybe they were like, okay, we're only going to allow so many from everything. We're going to divide that plus 2.2 million that you had by 6. I think there were 5 retailers that they had on their website. Divided by 6 to allow for the stuff direct from Nintendo as well. But I guess we'll see.
Yes, it will be very interesting to see how this plays out over the next month and some change. It's June 15th and where it's going to release? June 5th?
Yeah, June 15th. It's a month and a week, basically.
Yeah.
I think they're still going to have to work on how best to
June
avoid
5th.
scalpers.
It's June 5th. June 5th.
Month and a week. Yep.
Yeah. So we will see how that plays out. But I mean, I get it. They're trying so hard to stop scalpers, and seeing as how they've got their online thing now, the more consoles they get into more people's hands, the more subscriptions they can get. Instead of just one person who's got 10 consoles, you want 10 people who have one console, and then all of those people can get the subscriptions, and then you're making your revenue back.
I will be interested to see too if you can pre-order the accessories like the camera and the GameCube controller and all the other stuff that they presented, because on their website currently it's not available to be able to even push to order. So I'd be interested to see if once you get a code,
they would want to do
you do multiples.
Because that just seems like it'd be a cluster otherwise, right?
This is going to be a cluster anyway, like
as usual.
Yeah,
it's a game. It's a console release. Early adoption.
Yeah, but this is going to be worse than any other one.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling this one is definitely going to be rough.
I don't know. The PlayStation 5 and the Series X being released during COVID was pretty bad. Not being able to get any of the consoles and stuff, so kind of have to see.
Yeah,
it might be worse in our country than maybe it was worldwide last time. I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
So,
there's going to be people going over to Canada to grab them and bring them back and sell them over
I go
here.
once a year a lot of times. So
I don't know if that's going to work very well. Them folks aren't too keen on letting us get benefits these days.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out as it goes. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so lots of Nintendo Switch stuff. It's been cool. It'll be interesting to watch.
What else we got?
Oh man, the Bethesda thing. I definitely want to.
Okay, what's the Bethesda
How about this?
thing?
Because
Let's
this was absolutely crazy. Because I was hearing rumors a lot about it, that they were going to announce the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remaster, and I was like, oh man, they're gonna work on it. They're gonna show everybody that they're working on it. And then they announced it, and they were like, yeah, we're working on it, and it's released today. They stealth dropped it same day they announced it.
I mean,
and so everyone's like
be like that.
Wait, what? You could play it now. They're like, yeah, go get it now. It's done. It's ready to play. That.
So here's the thing with that.
that.
Like, there's supposed to be the Sky Oblivion thing that
which
someone
is still
had
out
been developing.
Too. And Bethesda even said they're not going to bother with that one. Like, you're going to be free to do whatever you want. They're going to let it go. They want to play with it. Go for it. We're going to keep hands off. You guys worked super hard on it. It's been like an 8-year project. It's all you.
That's what I was worried about. It's like, man, they'd spent so many years working on this, and they go and stealth drop this, and it's like, it almost kind of felt like a fuck you to the people working on that one.
That's good. That's good.
Well, this one is just a remaster of Elder Scrolls 4, where the Sky Oblivion one is Elder Scroll 4 remade in Skyrim. So now you've got two. It almost feels like it's a small piece of Elder Scrolls Online, but you have your 2 zones. So it's entirely remade.
Well, the combat in each one is slightly different. So
yeah.
I didn't know, and I guess it was Oblivion they were talking about, and Baka, you might know more about this because it sounds like you know a lot about all the games. But evidently in Oblivion there was no de-aggro for any of the enemies.
Ah, yes.
And so that was part of what made the game so difficult. So it'd be like you would be running through and you'd just go through and piss somebody off and you'd keep going, and then all of a sudden you'd have like a couple of animals that you might have passed the aggroed on you, and then some guy that you made mad in a castle 2 miles away that just been chasing you this entire time that would show
finally
up in
caught
the middle
up.
Yeah.
Yep, I've heard that before. Yeah, where you're that was the worst part about it. Like you go and you're fighting something and you don't even realize you aggro, and it follows you into a city. It follows you no matter what. You turn around and you're just getting ganked by something that you didn't even know you aggroed.
That's kind of funny. I would not want to experience it, but it's kind of funny.
It is very funny. I will say, one of the biggest kind of bops, I'll call it, is if you buy the deluxe version, you get some new quests and some dragon armor, weapons, and you get the horse armor.
You do get the horse armor?
The horse armor that started it all.
The slippery slope that invited all of the paid DLC stuff.
The original paid DLC.
Looking back on it, you're like, well, if we knew then what was going to happen.
What was the original price of that we all freaked out about?
It was like
$1.99. I think it was $1.99.
It was $5 or less is what it was.
And here we are
been $3.99. I don't remember, but
it might have been $3.99, but it was not very expensive at all.
That's what I was saying. If we knew then what we know now, people would be like, "Oh, this is like nothing." But
they would have done it faster if they would have known now. They'd be like, "Oh man, everyone's gonna pay for it. Do everything." God, there would have been so much more microtransactions and everything up to this point. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we already have plenty, so.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The horse armor. I hope it's called that too.
Horse armor.
Like like in capital THE.
The horse armor.
This is it, everybody. This is what you guys are upset about. Like however long ago it was.
Looks like War's horse because it's the fucking end times.
It's funny. Sad.
Yes,
funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've heard nothing but greatness from this remaster. Like it is blowing up, and everybody is enjoying the shit out of it.
It does not look like a remaster. It looks like it was a remake.
Like a whole rebuild.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, it looked like a whole rebuild.
Because I watched. When I first watched it, I was like, "That looks really good for a remake." I mean, for a rebuild. I mean, remaster. Anyway,
you don't even know what you're talking about. How can we listen?
Remaster. It looks really hard for a remaster. And then I was watching somebody watch the video, like react to the video, and they go, "This is not a remaster. That's what they're calling it, but this is not a remaster. This is a remake of some sort."
See, it makes me wonder if they used I don't want to say just AI, but if they used a machine to build the game. They put in the main files and then basically had the machine transfer the entire game to the Unreal Engine 5 and upscale it. Which would not be too hard for a machine to be able to do pretty fast. For people, it would take a while. But if they completely rebuilt the game from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, feels like that's how they would have done it, is to transfer.
Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, so it is, but the original wasn't.
Yeah, so it says Oblivion has been remade by port developer Virtuous Para Studio in collaboration with Bethesda, and this new version is ground up remake built. They keep calling it a remaster, but it's not. It is a remake.
Yeah. See, ground up remake build? Yeah.
Yeah, in Unreal Engine 5.
Makes me
look the same.
Leads me to believe that they had some help kind of transferring that game and scaling it up.
Even in movies lately, like where they're doing like they call things reboots, and it's really just a sequel. They've been doing shit like that too. So,
which I will give you a little bit of leniency on that, is because sometimes when a series like Jurassic World was a reboot and a sequel to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's rebooting the series, and you've had a gap of time.
But not all the movies are doing that.
Yeah, I know, which I get. Like, sometimes they just kind of use reboot to kind of entice everybody to look again. But sometimes, depending on the age and how long it is, I can understand why they use reboot in proper context.
The Jurassic World one makes sense because it's like, okay, well, we're going to ignore 2 and 3, and we're going to make it to where it's like...
Brother Man 2 and 3 are both are still canon in it. Like, all of that takes place. Yes.
I got the impression that they weren't canon anymore with the world.
Don't talk to Chicken about Jurassic Park.
Okay. They all take place. It's all part of the canon world. Yeah, they even talk about Isla Sorna several times. Isla Nublar is the main island.
On that. Like, I don't know. I always got the impression that like they were just like, we're just going to ignore those. I know Halloween does that shit a lot, though. The Halloween movie franchise, we're we're going to ignore 4, 5, and 6, and we're just going to restart again. Oh, well, that didn't do good. Okay, well, we're going to ignore that, and just the first one's canon of this one.
I will say I do like that about the Halloween movies, is you've got Halloween 1, and then it's got like 3 different branches that tell different stories. It's like the first movie, and then it's got like the different branches and the different story arcs. They kind of branch off from that one. The third one just
does its own thing altogether. So.
Exactly. Like, it's like Halo.
It has
Halloween,
nothing to do with Michael Myers.
And then Halloween 3. Apparently, there are loose theories that it takes place in the same universe, too. So it's just a side story in the same universe, but I'm kind of...
It was meant to be just its own anthology thing, because that's what they originally wanted to do with the series before. Everyone's like, where the fuck's Michael Myers?
That was their fault. Shouldn't have made a second movie with it. They should have just done the first one, then done the second one, and then continued on as anthology. But doing a second movie instantly makes people in the third one go, why is this different?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
On PC currently, it is 125 gigabytes for the new Oblivion. What size was the original?
Probably
what size was the original?
1, right? It's gotta be small because it was on the original. It was the original
what size
Xbox,
it is.
Right?
Don't look this up, Mr.
Original Xbox and 360.
I'm not looking it up.
So it's gotta be small. It's gotta be like 2 gigs or something, right? Like
okay, you're at 2 gigs. All right. What else we got?
I'm gonna guess.
I mean, it was still a pretty large game, so I want to say about 15.
15 gigs. I'm gonna guess 7.5.
4.6.
Ah, it was closest. Yeah.
Nice.
4.6.
Okay, that's not too bad.
That should have been an indication right there to everybody. This isn't actually a remaster.
Yeah, it's an entirely rebuilt game.
I guess maybe they're calling it a remaster because they are using some of the original voice work from it. Like, they have new lines too, but maybe that's their thought process.
Or maybe somebody said remaster and they just stuck with it.
Because they're using machine learning to be able to transfer it over into the Unreal Engine.
Oh, maybe that's what it is, though. You might be onto something with that one.
Yeah, I mean, because if you do a remake, you're going from Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 4 Remake. If you're going from Elder Scrolls 4, you're just... It's the same game. They're not changing much. They're just rebuilding it to, like, a modern standard, which is... It's still the same game that you play. It's just built better, I guess.
Built different.
They didn't just like pretty up the graphics. They changed a lot of how the core of it works.
Yeah, there's definitely a remake at that point. But did they change any of the story beats and storylines? Like, were there redos in any major parts of the story?
Well, I know that they added material to it, so yes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like just I'm walking through a street and now I have ambiance I didn't have before, or if
it's like I've added a new quest line to finish up this thing that was open.
Oh, they said. Oak said something earlier about them adding in new quest lines.
Yeah, well, the DLC or the story expansions did add a bunch of stuff.
They did, but if they're adding in even additional new stuff, unless it's stuff that, because I know Knights of the Old Republic 2 had this issue where there were a lot of quests that you couldn't even finish because they didn't actually finish them and flush them out, and the community had to go in and write the script and complete all that stuff so you could actually do them. Because like a lot of them just ended in the middle of the quest and was like,
nope, I'd be so mad. I can't handle that.
I would be livid.
I can't.
Yeah.
No, that's why if you're ever playing Knights of the Old Republic 2, you want to get that mod pack where it finishes out everything. Because there were a lot of quests that they were just like, yeah, it just stops in the middle of this. It just
see, and the first time I played that one, I wouldn't have noticed it because it was one of those where I didn't play games the same way then and I do now. So as long as I could finish the game is all that mattered to me at the time. Because I go through the plot line where now I'd want all the, especially if it's one of those where it adds to the story, right? So it's like, you know, as long as it's not a useless quest, then I'd be all about it. That's good information.
Well then.
For sure.
What else we got?
Well, in other Bethesda news,
Chicken's like, let me get on this Bethesda train. Here we go.
Well, this one is this is heartbreaking, and this is like I can't even tell you how much stuff we've lost to time. But the original Fallout creator told it, or was says that he was ordered to destroy the source code and everything about the original Fallout, everything about it, all the art, every single piece of history when they were building that game. He was ordered to destroy, and so he's like, "All right," and he did it.
Yeah,
and
it was
several years later,
and he was leaving the company. And I understand this thought process of that is your, that is now your IP. It belongs to you as a company, and that person no longer belongs to it. But I think there's a better route and a better way.
Yes, then destroy it.
Yeah, I think I would be like, you need to hand all of that over to us in some way, or watermark it somehow to where he can still have that information, but there's no way for him to be able to give it out without, you know, it being an issue of some sort.
Yes, because of what happened next is what will happen. Because Bethesda came back a few years later and was like, "Hey, you still got that Fallout stuff?" And he's like,
"No,
you trying to sue me or something? I ain't got shit anymore." And they're like, well, we lost all of it." Oh my god.
And part of me would have wanted to go, I know they're telling me to delete all this stuff, but I'm going to keep all this stuff, and no one's going to know me.
I would have too.
I lost it, and I go, I might be able to find it on an old hard drive somewhere, even though I know exactly where it's at. But it's going to cost you some money because you were idiots.
Like that stuff hurts because it's all gone.
Mm-hmm.
All gone. All those concept arts, all those early patches, all that source material, everything is gone, and you can't remake it. It's like seeing an artist's vision kind of grow, which that kind of stuff needs to be archived somewhere, which is why I wish we had like a video game library, which we're THQ Nordic is kind of working on. They're trying to get all of that stuff, but that's you need to have somewhere a vault to be able to save these old things that companies can be like, I don't want this anymore, put it in the vault somewhere.
But I also think it needs to be one of those where like intellectual property should belong to the artist first and should always have some type of portion of ownership to it. Where in this case he would have been the artist that would have created it. It's now that property is now switched hands. But he should still have a right to keep the art he created in some way.
I agree with that.
Like in this case, the archived information that we no longer have.
Yes. Ugh, and it's so painful because imagine how much stuff out of the 70s, 80s, and 90s that are just gone forever.
Yeah.
Can never see concept arts, can never see people making or seeing how certain games that have evolved during their making process. So painful.
Yeah, especially
painful.
when you see like what we used to put video games on. Like it was just like somebody came up with this little board and they were like, oh, here's this chip and I'm able to transfer it to this little chip and make it work inside of this console or whatever. It's just crazy to me.
Super
Or in
cool,
an arcade
though.
it. Yep. But
yeah, it's like I wanted to make sure I made this reference right. You would think that humans would learn to preserve their knowledge and history, especially after we lost it during the burning of the Library of Alexandria, which I was right. Like we lost all that history. You think the humans would be a little bit more cautious about just tossing things away?
Nah.
The only people that learn on that are the smart people, and unfortunately, they're outnumbered by the dumb.
Yeah.
No, we're not outnumbered. We're just more quiet. The dumb people tend to be the louder ones and scream when they're not heard, unfortunately. And then you get the people in the middle who just don't say anything and don't pick a side. It's like, brother, man.
Well, there's a reason people should build redundancies into things.
Yes.
Like I understand people going, we need to save money. We need to cut this corner right here. But certain things need redundancy built into it because it's a CYA theory, right? Cover your ass. Because something's going to happen and mess up. Well, something happened. And all you had to do was tell that guy, hey, hold on to that. It's still our property. But you have a little bit of right to that because you're the one that created it. We might need it later on too, but we're going to archive this other. Now when he goes back to it, he goes, we're going to pay you for that because you stored it for us. And we need that information now.
I don't disagree with that.
Yes. Ugh, it's just painful to watch some of our history just kind of fade away because I guess neglect, ignorance, whatever you want to call it. It's frustrating. But yeah, I figured that was a good one to watch. Bethesda did something great, and then
and then Bethesda fucked it up because Bethesda. I feel like that is very classic them, though.
Yes, that's very classic companies, like businesses these days.
I guess I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh man, what else?
The other thing that I saw, it was a mechanic that I saw because we've all been interested in Cronos, Bloober's new game, the Cronos: The New Dawns. They showed a gameplay trailer. The gameplay actually looks pretty solid. It looks and feels like Dead Space. I haven't felt it yet, but watching them play it, it feels
like a lot of the footage looks a lot like traditional Dead Space.
But the mechanic that I find super fascinating is, yes, just like Dead Space, you have to dismember the monsters and to kill them entirely. But if you don't burn all the pieces or completely destroy the pieces, as new monsters spawn, they will pick up or absorb those pieces you've left around to make themselves stronger. So if you don't clear out an area and one gets in there and starts picking up behind you, they will become like a behemoth style and you will get flanked from nowhere from this thing. So it's
I love that concept because it reminds me of innovation wise, it reminds me of the Nemesis system. Because what did they do? They figured you killed them, they came back, but they evolved in how they did it. Where in this case, you have somebody that, I don't know, it's got 6 arms and you kill them. And the thing that's fighting you next has a bunch of spikes all over it, but only has 2 arms. And then it absorbs and now it has 6 arms and it has all these spikes all over it.
This is taking a lot of, like, we've seen all of these concepts in other games before. Like Halo had, if you killed the Flood and like part of it, you left the body there and you didn't break it up, the little popcorns would come and reanimate it. The Dead Space had the dismemberment thing, and then Evil Within, you had to burn bodies so they wouldn't come back. So it's like they took all three of those and like went, yeah, but what if also when they brought the other piece into the thing, it also made it different? Let's put all that together. Like, it's a really neat evolution of these things we've kind of already seen to make something newer, you know?
Yes. I'm stoked to see how it is. I love when companies try new concepts and evolved mechanics and things like that, especially with Bloober Team. They've done nothing but do good, especially these days. Like, good on you guys. I like to see where you're going, and I like Dead Space. So seeing Cronos and watching the whole trailer thing, man, it's a little bizarre, but the maps look good. I'm very interested in the story and what kind of people we're going to have to rescue from the timelines. So, because that's technically what this is supposed to be about. You're a time traveler. You go to different parts in history, and you have to rescue these.
Time diver, sir.
Yeah, time diver.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
You have to rescue these people. Which, to be fair, he is right. Time diver fits the style because you're going into a specific point in time to pull people out to help save the future. So I'm interested. I'm very interested. And having new fancy mechanics like that just makes it a little bit sweeter.
Good for replay too, because you'll go into a situation where maybe you broke everything up like you were supposed to the first time. You go back on a replay and you forget, and then it changes.
Or you go back on a replay and you're like, yeah, I thought it was too easy, so I'm just not gonna break everything up and burn it. I'm gonna see what happens, you know?
Yeah,
hell yeah.
4 merges that happen.
Oh god.
See how quickly you stop doing that.
Yeah, it really makes me wonder if you're fighting a. Go ahead, Baka.
Run away from a giant behemoth and just keep killing shit, and it just keeps getting bigger because you're not burning it.
The game crashes. It gets so big it crashes your game.
Oh my god, that'd be wild.
They have to patch it because we're breaking the game because we're doing things that nobody intended in the first place.
It is up and break your game.
Be able to fight this thing as large as it got. Oh yeah. Hold my beer.
Yeah, always expect players to try to break your game.
I know that it was not included in the news stuff, and it is relevant to like nobody but me, but I was gonna share it with Oak because I thought he'd get a kick out of it. So you remember that game called Date Everything, where you date everything in your house? It was supposed to be out February 14th because that would have been so thematic. Right. It is now June 17th. I think that you should play this game because I want you to know what the names of the wall and the door are. It's Wallace and Dorian.
Yes.
That makes me upset, but I think that you would like it, and it actually has a release date now. So
is the Chester Drawers named Chester, or is it?
I don't know. It doesn't say. Those were the only ones I saw the names of, and that was enough for me.
Some lonely folks out there that want to date the wall.
Look here now. If my wall has a great personality, we can talk, okay?
No, we're going to send you to a special place with padded walls, because if your wall is talking to you, you definitely need some of the medications.
Only if you put on the glasses. You have to wear special glasses in the game, and you fill up your data decks.
Okay, first of all, that feels...
The way this podcast got started was Griff and I would watch... we would watch videos of someone playing a pigeon dating game, and
it was awful.
They were so awful, and we loved it though because it was hilarious because it was so serious in the way that it was done, but it was like this pigeon dating game. And so it's kind of,
by the way, in case you're wondering, it's on Steam if you want to play it. I didn't play it, but I did watch Danny O'Dwyer play it quite a bit back in the day.
So we watched it a lot, but that's kind of how then we had the good gaming conversations and stuff that would happen, and that's how we kind of moved everything over
we heard a couple of podcasts by the same people, and I will not say who it is, but I was like, how do these people have a successful podcast? So
yes.
Okay. Baka's going to grab a thing. He'll be right back.
Okay.
But yeah, like that was part of it. So I mean, I don't know. I just think sometimes I'm not one of those people that takes dating sims super seriously. I think that they're meant to be fun and funny, which is part of why I didn't like Boyfriend Dungeon, because I was like, y'all are trying to put too much social commentary on it, and I get what you're doing, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. It's just not my thing. I like them for them being silly.
I liked Boyfriend Dungeon, but I also liked the gameplay part of it. So
it's like an old school arcade-ish thing, and also not my cup of tea. But I see what they were doing with that one. Like, just not for me. But I'm interested in this one just because I want to know. I want to see the comedy unfold, and what kind of weird quirks and things they put into all of that stuff.
There's like a Monster Prom one or something that I've played.
Yes, it's on my wish list. It goes on sale for $2.99 all the time. I just haven't actually bought it yet because that's another one that I want to play. I've heard good things about it, but Dream Daddy also hilarious as far as
I'm glad you said that because I was about to say, was the other one Hello Daddy?
No, it was Dream Daddy. Yes.
Hello, Daddy.
Although that one also has social commentary in it, so beware. It also has partners that you can't actually have successful endings with because that's not how life is, And it's like, well, yeah, but this game is not meant to be like super life. Whatever. Anyway, it is what it is. I think this one's probably gonna be fun, and that's June 17th for everything, including the Switch. If you want to play it on the Switch. It doesn't say a Switch 2 though. I would assume if it's on one Switch, it'll be on the other though.
That depends on whether. I think they're doing kind of like when the 360 went to the one. It was up to the developer on whether they chose to upgrade it to that or
maybe.
not.
The art style of this one doesn't seem like you'd really have to upgrade anything. So.
Well, I mean,
maybe they didn't have the kits for the Switch 2.
Very possible.
Maybe. Or there's, I mean, I'm sure the Switch is going to get support for a couple of years anyway.
Oh yeah.
All these games that are in development that didn't get the memo that the Switch 2 was coming out as quick as it was.
I like that the wrap up of this article too is like, if that sounds like your cup of tea, then you only have to wait 2 months. And if you really love cups of tea, you could probably date those too. Shut up, I feel targeted.
Her name's Tina.
It probably would be.
Uh-huh.
It probably would be. Oh god. Damn it. Now I'm gonna have to like play it so that I can report to you all of the pun names.
I'm
pretty sure you'd just be able to look them up afterwards and not spend the money to buy it.
Hey, I want to play this game. I don't know how much it's gonna cost though. I wonder if it has a price on Steam.
Over there, sir. We have fun playing ours.
There's a cat trying.
Yeah, that's fine.
What do you want? Come here, kitty cat.
Too funny.
I play free games these days.
I know.
Free games.
I know. Free games have been super nice because everything is super expensive.
Yes, I don't buy games anymore. I try to, unless it's on sale. Don't buy full price games anymore. I don't buy games on sale and I play free games. That's about it. Or people buy me games. That's my life these days.
Which is also free for you.
Exactly.
It's really on sale for you, depending on which way you want to look at it.
Exactly. That's how I play my games these days. Either somebody else gets it for me, I buy it while it's on sale, or I just play free games.
Well, I can't pre-order, so I don't know how much it costs. Sorry, carry on. I'm just talking to myself. Don't mind me.
It's all good. Speaking of games we played recently, I've been playing Blueprints, which is Prince, Griff.
I hate you. It has like blueprints, like housing things, and the whole time he never said it.
That's the pun for the game. The concept of it is a roguelike puzzle game is the easiest way to state it. It does not take very long to get through what I'm going to call the main plot line. At least what the game is telling you is the main plot line. But the concept is you have 45 rooms that change every day. So every time you go to open up a door, it'll give you 3 options and you choose which room goes into that. Eventually you can unlock more rooms as you play through. You can pick up keys. You can pick up gems. Keys, of course, unlock doors. Gems work as a currency to be able to do certain, open up certain rooms. There are puzzles in certain rooms. For those that are math whizzes, at the end of the day, there is a dartboard math problem that changes every time that you go into it. There are also as part of the plot, you'll have safes you have to open up. You have to figure out what the codes are for each one of the safes by just kind of finding clues for that in order to get through where you need to. The idea for the main part of the plot line, which it tells you in the first 5 seconds, I'm not really spoiling anything on this, is to be able to figure out how to open up the 46th room. This place, if it's got, I guess they like Stardew Valley is the only thing I can figure out. Your uncle dies and he left you this mansion, basically. Is kind of the whole concept of it. But you also unlock stories about your uncle and your family and all that stuff. So there's like this huge plot line that goes along with it. That's really neat. But the concept that they have on here and how difficult in depth each one of these puzzles get as you go further in is insane. Like I am on, I think, day 70 or something like that. And which is about 20 days past when I found out how to get into the 46th room, but I'm still continuing to play, and finding new things as I go through. It's just really, really well done. And if you like puzzles and it's something you think you might like, even if you think it's something you might not like, and you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass right now. So,
yeah.
So definitely would look at playing something like that. It's chill too. Like I like just being able to pick it up.
It's chill, and he's over there doing math, and it's like, nah, I don't think I will. That's not my kind of chill. That's stressful.
Dating doors is more your speed.
That's right. It's way easier. No math involved.
That's adorable.
Oh God, I hate you so much. Please get out.
Your husband's the one that set me up. I can't help it.
Swoosh.
I hate all of you. Oh man.
But that's what I've been playing.
We've been playing Marvel mostly. Once we got our stuff back, like we were like 2 weeks where we didn't get to even turn on our computers. So we did. Speaking of Marvel, Chicken and I caught up. Well, Chicken already had seen it, but I caught up mostly with the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, so that I knew what some of these characters were about in some cases.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. We binged like phase 2 to end game. I think we watched
the MCU.
16 movies in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we watched a lot of movies, but
she got introduced to a lot of characters, and Infinity War and Endgame are still top tier.
It actually did change. Like I'm kind of glad because it did change my view on one of the main characters, which was Captain America. I was like, oh, he's just your stereotypical goody two shoes, white hat, whatever. Like his story arc over all of that stuff was so good, so enjoyable.
Yes, him and Iron Man get so much depth through the entire arc of that Marvel Cinematic storyline is so good.
It's interesting to hear some of the other banter in the game too, though, because some of it relates to some of the stuff that happened that I had not seen. Although, again, there's other characters that I still don't know much at all about because I haven't seen any of their content or anything. But it's neat. And it also is one of those things where I was like, well, I liked watching Captain America a lot. Now I guess I need to try him out because I need another tank that I can play. He's a very aggressive tank. And I have Penny Parker for my defense tank, and I'm pretty good with her. And Captain America, I'm figuring out, but man, he fast as fuck, boy. I can't fucking, like, half the time I'm like, I don't know where I'm at anymore. I hit the go fast button, jumped in, and started wailing on somebody, and I have no idea where I am.
That's all he does. Run around, throw up a shield, and be as annoying as possible. You make the healers turn around because they got Captain America just swinging around back there, and you're like, the fuck, it's like Spider-Man on crack or something. What the?
Only with like way more health. Yeah.
My oldest has been playing, and I'll never forget her going into one of the matches, whatever the matches are, that's kind of a free for all or whatever.
The Doom matches.
Doom matches. So she goes into a Doom match, and somebody was playing Captain America, and she was like, "Stop jumping! Stop!" She's like yelling at the screen. I was dying, and you just see him moving around. He's so fast.
I'm sure they'll probably nerf his mobility and survivability. I think actually they do have it on.
They just buffed his survivability.
They did just buff his survivability, but they're already talking about taking it down a little because, I mean...
He's not that bad.
He's Juggernaut back there in the back line. Although, if you have a good team that can, like, crowd control him a little bit, he just gets demolished. So
yeah, that's the point. And the thing is he can only block in one direction.
Yeah.
Like, if he dives backline and puts up a shield, then the tanks or whatever turn around and beat
Put up the
shit out of
shields
him.
for losers. Only swing. Commit. You're gonna die anyway. Just commit.
Well, you can block ults and things like that. Anything that's a projectile, you can block from the front of you. No.
I've gotten good at that too, with Penny Parker, because her little spider web thing that she shoots out that tangles people up also blocks projectiles. So if you hear an Iron Man...
Does it block projectile?
It stops. It counts as... Yeah, it counts as, like, them hitting something. So you hear an Iron Man ult go off, and you're like, I don't think so. Like, it's just super good. Groot is the same way, because his doesn't look like it, but his ult is a projectile. So if he starts to throw it out towards your team, and you shoot your Penny Parker web at him when he does it, it stops it in front of him. So you're like, I guess we won't today, Groot. I'm sorry. But I'm a petty Penny Parker player.
Petty Penny.
Yeah.
Also webbing Scarlet Witch out of the air.
Yeah, I mean, ults like that is just really easy. You can shut down enemy Penny Parkers really quick. Because all of them have wind-up times, and you just have to listen to the voice line. Because if you hear Penny go, she's gonna say it's spider time, and that's her ult. If you hit her while she's still saying it turns the ult off.
Yep.
Sorry, other Penny. My bad. It's very enjoyable for a petty person like me.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Petty Penny.
Yes!
Petty Parker.
I am. But we've been doing that. And Repo. We've been playing Repo actually quite a bit, which is, I think, the superior version of the quota/extraction gameplay.
Yes.
Games. Like Lethal Company, still good. There are other things like Headliners did a similar thing. It's about getting into a level, getting as much monetarily as you can, and then getting out before monsters kill you is essentially what all of those are about. But with this one, I feel like it's easier to survive sometimes because you have things like an ability to hide, and you also have the ability to be brought back to life. So all you gotta do.
You also have the ability to kill all the monsters in the game too.
I don't know if I would be successful at that. I'm better at running and hiding. But
to be fair, I've watched people just like pick up random items and just beat the out of monsters.
Yeah, but you can also run yourself into a problem with that because because it damages the item as you hit them.
When you kill a monster, it drops its soul, and you can sell the soul.
Yeah, but what if it's not as worth as much as you need it
It's
to be?
worth a lot. Souls are worth a lot. You've seen them. They're the purple orb things with the yellow in the middle.
Yeah, because that frog clown monster got stuck on a clock. I don't even know what it was. I think it was a clock, and I was hiding under a table behind it. And I watched it just walk into this thing over and over because it was blocking the door until the item finally killed it. So I was like, I've never seen that happen. I picked up its soul and went to run off because I was the only survivor left, and then immediately got hit by something else. So
what if you beat a monster with a soul?
It'll break before it kills the monster. It depends on what monster.
I don't remember what it was, but I got like before I even realized what it was standing in front of me. So, Big B, you asked to be in here.
I forgot which level it was, but one of us, there was a door. I think it killed Griff. There's a door.
No, that was Gmod. I got killed by a door in Gmod.
Oh, that's right. Gmod.
Yep, that happened too this week.
The door killed you. That was beautiful.
I don't even know
somebody
how
else
that
got
happened.
stuck on the door. Somebody else got stuck on the door right afterwards. He got killed by it too.
Having fun because my phone was blowing.
It was.
I didn't have any audio, so I was like, "Well, not playing tonight."
It was fun though.
It was fun. Good stuff.
But yeah, Repo, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that game like $20, $10? How much is that game?
$10.
Not expensive, and if you've
10, right? Yeah, it was $9.99, right?
It's $9.99 right now.
I don't know what the state of it is if you're playing in like open lobby kind of deal, but if you've got friends to play that game with, it's stupid fun. I really enjoy it.
Yes.
I mean, it's really fun because even if you're dead, you can watch your teammates go and like watching them and kind of like cheering from the sidelines, and then if somebody else dies, they're in the dead chat with you, knowing that, you know, I just need you to get $200 more in the cart, take the cart to the thing, and then we can come back because you've got us. Because when your little robots blow up, it leaves their heads And so as long as your teammates will get your head and put it in the cart, they can resurrect you, essentially.
I logged into a friend of mine's channel this morning, and he was playing that with a group of people. And as soon as I logged in, I had no idea what was going because I haven't played the game yet. And all I hear is, "I got the head, I got the head, I got the head, I got the." And I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Like, honestly, they've hit the nail on the head with this one. And the next change, the big patch that they're coming out with, is going to change the game drastically.
Is it going to be
because they're adding a new mechanic to it, which I watch their videos every time. They're like 4-minute videos, and their little update. It's a little gimmicky thing and whatnot. It's kind of funny. But they're adding what is called overcharge, which is as you hold stuff or grapple stuff, you start building up overcharge. It's like strain on your character, and when you build it up too high, you can't carry anything anymore.
Oh.
You have to make sure that it's almost like stamina bar, so that you can't just like carry stuff or swing stuff around or things like that.
Heavy.
Yeah, so you'll have to set it down for a second and then let your overcharge go back down, or because I don't exactly understand how it works yet, but from what they've explained, it's to kind of help balance the game from that respect. So I'm very, very, very interested to see how it changes. But they said this is the only like new major mechanic that they're going to put in right now, because apparently it needs to be balanced because of how it runs right now.
Interesting.
So I'm interested. It should be out soon.
Oh. I imagine we'll have more to talk about as far as what games we've played the longer that Chicken and I have our stuff back.
Yeah. We've also started playing Defiance.
Oh, yeah, Chicken and I loaded that up. That's a game from 2013.
2013, yes. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but Defiance was that.
I remember the name, but I don't remember anything about that game.
It was a Tryon game, and it was a game that Tryon and Sci-Fi teamed up to make. Sci-Fi made the show, and Tryon made the game. And when you played the game, you met 2 characters inside of it and helped them, and then afterwards they left the game, and then the first season of the show started. And then that, like, the show and the game took place simultaneously
in different locations.
Yeah, in different locations. One was in St. Louis and the other one was in California. And the plan was to have characters come from both sides, basically leave the show, go to the game, leave the game, go to the show. Which they did a couple of times. Like season 2, the characters leave the show and come back to the game, and you have an episode that you can play inside of the game that fills in the gaps for what happens, because then they go back to the show, which they also do like name brand advertisements and things like that.
Yeah,
I think
like
one of the ATVs we saw was a Dodge.
Yeah, that she hopped on and it made sure that it panned across the Dodge logo on the front of it, and I was like, wait a minute. What is
product placement?
Which was a pretty cool damn concept for back then. It would be probably a cool concept, which I think Fallout is doing with their show, is that they're making the show, and then the characters from the show are going to end up being in Fallout 5. So
I would be interested to know.
So we'll see. We'll probably see a ghoul or some of the characters. But yes, I like that concept, especially especially nowadays, you can mocap pretty well and get your characters into the game. But being able to like watch characters leave the show and then go and interact with them inside the game, and then from the game come back to the show and talk about their experiences, the canon stories and whatnot. So it's interesting, but I mean the gameplay is solid. It's a 2013 game. Doesn't look like high quality or anything like that, but gameplay wise, it's a pretty fun MMO. Surprisingly, we're a lot more people than I thought there would be playing it. Like there was somebody around every corner, everywhere. So, but the fun third-person shooter.
Yeah, we had fun. Although it is a little buggy. I have a gun now that for whatever reason, when I swap to it, it spins me, like, it basically turns my character around the other direction and pops all my shields off. The shields regen, which is fine, but nowhere in the description of this gun does it say that it does anything like that or should do anything. It doesn't even tie into what the gun does, so I'm pretty sure it's just a bug. That, and every time I spawned in my ATV on chicken screen, it spawned in upside down. It didn't on mine.
You should put a review down that about your bug, and then say it's a dead game that they stopped. They're not even working on anymore.
First of all,
it's 12 years later.
Defiance was ended in 2021. Support was completely let go. Yeah. A company called Fox Games, who has done this before, they get old IPs and license them and then revive the game so that people can still play them. And that's what happened this time, is that they bought the license from Tryon and decided to revive it. You can't get it on Steam. There was a surprising
amount of people. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, there's somebody everywhere I turn around, but there were a lot of people playing that game.
And it is a highly active game, too, by the way. Like, while you were driving from quest to quest, there's something to do everywhere. People to rescue, monsters to kill. Me and Griff came across this gigantic fucking crystal spider thing that I think was far outside of our fighting range, but we fought it, killed it, and got a couple of cool upgrades. It reminds me of, like, third-person Destiny style. Yeah, mixed with a little bit of Mass Effect, where it's got the third-person shooter style to it. I was like, oh, yeah, I like the equipment. The and ATV all that you
get drives like a Halo 1 Warthog, though. It's kind of awful.
Yes, it does.
I'm like, please stop.
There's a boost too, so I just like and there's no fall damage, by the way.
Yeah.
So you just like boost off of cliffs and just launch yourself to wherever you need to go.
So there was a sequel, Defiance 2050.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I didn't know. I didn't watch the show. So.
You can't click on that one either. I'm on their Steam store because it's no longer on the Steam store.
Yeah, all of that stuff is no longer on Steam. It was taken off and removed because they canceled, or they basically closed it down. But yeah, you'd have to go to Fox Game and download their launcher and make an account and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a bad game. It's fun. Me and Griff like to throw on, play it.
Yeah, we stayed up a little late last night playing it. It was fun.
We will, we will watch the show before we play the season 2 episode 2 if you wanted to do that.
No.
So.
We'll talk about it.
You probably like the characters in it, to be honest. But it is a sci-fi show. It is a sci-fi show, so you got to add a little bit of leniency for cheese. But yeah,
the games shut down around the same time, I guess.
Yep.
One shut down in February of 2021, and the other one shut down in April of 2021.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay then.
Yeah. But yeah, that's we played that a bit. I saw people were talking about it and getting excited about it, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that in a long time, because I played it when it first came out too, and I remember the show when it came out, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a neat concept.
Talk about it, but I didn't do anything with either one, the show or the game, so this was my first foray.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. That's about it.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
So. Becca, you been doing anything with your spare time?
What little spare time I've had? Mostly a little bit of Rivals here and there, and I'm not freaking drained from work because yay, Christmas is coming in.
It's April.
What?
I know. Yeah, but we're already getting Christmas shit in, and I'm having to work late in order to get it all squared away where it's, easy access for later when they decide they want to put it out in like August, July, or something like that.
Christmas in July, and then it never stops, I guess.
Yeah, only for a couple more weeks though.
What?
Oh, don't worry. The shipments coming into this country are about to go down, so he ain't gonna be be getting much more stuff very often. Because I highly doubt all this stuff from Hobby Lobby is.
I know what they'll probably do is immediately like skyrocket the prices on everything.
Yeah, but that means that you don't have to keep unloading trucks because there ain't gonna be no trucks bringing stuff in anymore.
I guess there's that. So.
That they've already bought.
Oh yeah, true, but that stuff will run out.
Well. Not to make it about the real world stuff.
But yeah, no, like what little free time I had, like I was doing Marvel Rivals, and what was it?
You did your game that's like Suikoden.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, did you finally finish that?
I'm right near the end. I stopped to do a bunch of the side stuff. And I need to go back and finish the last little bit of the story. I tried to get a mod working for Friday the 13th to keep playing multiplayer, but it did not want to work.
Boo.
Because I want to keep playing that.
Yeah.
Went to go play RoboCop because like I got it working and I went through like the first level or two and I was like, cool, I'll come back to this and I need to get back to my Yuden Chronicles and finish that out. And then I went back and was like, I feel like shooting shit today. No, it keeps crashing again now, and I gotta fix that.
Wow.
Boo.
And then these last 2 weeks have been like, nope, you're not playing shit.
Too.
You're allowed to play Marvels, and that's it.
Until that started crashing again.
Hey, but you fixed that one.
Yeah. And then I played a little bit of Half Sword because they did a slight update.
Nice.
Now you can do a thing of like you start out as a beggar and you can work your way up, and if you die, you go all the way back to the beginning and again.
Nice. So it's kind of a roguelike.
Kind of. Yeah, because when you're a beggar, it's just like you can either punch things with your fist or whatever you can find laying on the ground. And a lot of times it's like you get a candlestick or you get a stool and go beat the shit out of someone. If they got a sword, you better hit them harder.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, you got a sword? Well, I'll just hit you harder. I'll throw it at you.
Yeah. And you can actually like grab a hold of the people and just start punching them.
Hell yeah.
There is a kick, but I have not been able to get it to successfully like constantly do that. And I'm not sure how to go about it either. Like I watched a couple of people and it's like they figured out how to just like go up and just fucking kick someone onto the ground. But I looked through the buttons and it's not listed anywhere.
You think it's something you unlock later, maybe?
Ooh.
I don't know. I haven't messed with it all that much, but
your special powers, you get to kick.
You get
I was like, I just run up and fucking kick someone to the ground and just start beating them with a stool.
Hell yeah. That's how you do it.
Too funny.
Anything else? No?
Nope.
Okay. I didn't want to cut anybody off, but you
know. No.
We appreciate everybody that hung out with us back. Woo! Make sure that you hit that sub button as well as that notification button down at the bottom so you know when the next one goes live. Hopefully we'll be here in a couple weeks when the next one should be going live.
Yeah.
Theoretically. For Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.